Who'll be pulling the special train, sir?
I have decided to give that job to Rex.
Whoa, missed opportunity here, people. You're totally missing out on my bodacious hunk of metal right here. Why Rex? Why not me?
Rex's work has been outstanding these past couple of weeks. You, on the other hand, may have developed a negative reputation after that incident at the watermill last week.
It was those blasted coaches' fault. They pushed me. The nerve of some people. They're all jealous. I'm hot. They're not. They just need to deal with it. Tweet it, folks. Hashtag Molten Mike.
Yeah, sure, that's likely.
We'll be waiting to welcome them to our railway.
I think they'll be creeped out by your simultaneous dialogue.
That's what makes us unique.
I think you'll be quite fascinated with the little engines at Arlesdale.
Yes, indeed. They're basically toy trains.
I remember riding on a toy-like train on the Ravenglass and Eskdale Railway in England. Well, as a matter of fact, these little engines are their brothers. Splendid! Take us away, Duck.
Do you know anything about this engine they're looking for?
Nope, never heard of it.
Bertram, I want you to work at the slate quarry today. There's important work that needs to be done there.
Yes, sir. Come on, driver. Let's go and push some trucks up the incline.
Well, I've certainly never seen the remains of a narrow-gauge engine here, unless you count Duke. Where exactly did you find Duke? Oh, we didn't exactly find him on our line. The line doesn't quite reach the old Mid-Sodor sheds, so the men had to go on foot. Shall I drop you off at the road that leads you there? It's like a 5-minute walk. Yes, please.
Ah, the wonderful smell of slate. Isn't it great?
Oh, shut up. Here it is, the sheds of the Mid-Sodor Railway.
There's no engine here, Brackley.
There may be one buried. Think we should ask if we could borrow some digging equipment. I found something, Charles. Looks like a piston of some sort. A piston? That might be something, John. Does it give any hint of who it was attached to? Nope. It's too rusty to tell even what color it was.
Come on, lads. Let's get you up the incline.
How many trucks is he pushing up?
Let's see. He's pushing up 10. That's way over the limit. Wait a minute. We've pushed too many trucks up. Oh, crap.
Don't fret, driver. I'm sure it'll be fine.
But it wasn't. The winch groaned from the weight. Bertram was too dopey to realize this. The trucks were almost at the top when the cable snapped. Bertram, look out!
Confusion. This is dreadfully smelly. Ghost! It's the ghost! What ghost? It's the old warrior. He's come to hunt me down. Feeble. Once an engine attached to a train. One, two, three.
Whoa! He's awake, everyone!
Oh, dear Lord. What happened?
You pushed too many trucks up the incline. They banged your head up pretty bad.
Here, let me help you back to the shed.
I'm very sorry, sir. I must have been too enthused to know what I was doing.
It's all right, Bertram. I'm just glad you're okay. Let's just say it's probably a good idea to obey the rules. Now, I better be going. You just get some rest.
Goodbye, sir.
You know, I had the same exact thing happen to me. My funnel was damaged, and that's where I got my new one.
I'm actually feeling a lot better. Trust me, I had an accident way worse than this back in the day.
When was this? Please tell us.
It was the first time I came to the railway. Back in 1929, I think.
1929? Bertram, you came to the railway in 1998.
And what do you mean first time? Have you been here before?
Why, yes. Skarloey and Rheneas, don't you remember?
No, we don't even know what you're talking about.
Wait a minute. No. It can't be. It just cannot be.
What, Rheneas?
1929 is around the time when the privately owned engine arrived on the railway. You know, the engine that, well...
Fell off the bridge? Rheneas, that was a tank engine. Unless... Hang on. He was brown just like Bertram, and he had a similar face. Bertram, are you saying that you were the tank engine who fell off the bridge?
Yes, of course. That's the accident I was referring to.
The engines were all silent.
You've been with us for 16 years now. How did you not once mention that?
I don't know. In fact, before the accident, I didn't even remember it. I must have developed a state of amnesia when I fell off the bridge, and then the blow from the trucks must have restored all of my lost memories.
Just tell us what happened on that night. We're all dying to find out.
Very well, then. I arrived on the Skarloey Railway back in 1927, but I was a different engine indeed. I was a little brown tank engine owned by the quarry. Back then, the slate quarry was privately owned, and I was the engine who worked there. Since I was always busy at the quarry, I hardly ever saw Skarloey and Rheneas. I remember thinking how marvelous they looked in their bright red coats.
Yep.
It was October 15th, 1929, I think.
Bertram, I want you to take these slate cars to the transfer yards tonight. You can leave him here and pick him up in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Who knows, we may see the red engines again.
Splendid. And sure enough, I did see one of you. I think it was Rheneas. He whistled hello, but I was too shy to respond. It was very late when I arrived at the transfer yards with the trucks. A standard gauge engine was waiting to collect the slate. However, as soon as I set off, there was a snap, and then a clang. My coupling rods had come loose, and they were dangling on the track.
Are you sure it's safe to proceed home? Of course it is. Who cares anyway? We'll be fine.
But we wouldn't. The driver and fireman had gone to a party the night before and had too much to drink. They were singing loudly until we reached the old iron bridge. And from what I recall, I believe it was Earth, Wind and Fire's September, but don't quote me on that. Actually, that hardly makes any sense because that hit the charts in 1978. Anyway, going over it with a dangling coupling rod was the act that ended the driver and fireman's lives. We were about halfway across when the rods got caught in the bridge. It swept us over the side, and we plunged into the swamps below. I regained consciousness at Croven's Gate Works, a completely different engine after being rebuilt. I was then shipped to the Mid-Sodor Railway.
But how?
The men searched in the ravine, but never found an engine.
From what I was told, some workmen snooping around found me in the swampy water about a day after I had fallen. They were from the Mid-Sodor Railway and took me to Croven's Gate. They needed a new engine, so I was to be rebuilt and sent to the Mid-Sodor line to work. But apparently, they forgot to tell the Skarloey Railway controller, and his workmen searched the day afterwards but only found the driver and fireman.
Did they survive? After falling about 300 feet? Doubtfully.
He's right. Both of them died instantly. The workmen who found me didn't want to handle the dead bodies, so they left them there, where they were found the next day.
The engines were all silent. The mystery of the old iron bridge had finally been solved. Skarloey smiled.
I'm just so glad that you survived. We can no longer be haunted by the case of the old iron bridge.
The engines all whistled in delight. They were relieved, especially Duncan, who could now cross the bridge without worrying about ghosts.